Welcome back. This is your Manchester United versus Manchester City match preview. Amorim aiming for a double over Manchester City this season. In our reverse fixture at Etihad, we defeated Manchester City 2-1. Those last 5 minutes were just incredible for us. Bruno Fernandes scoring his penalty at I think it was in the 85 minutes. Amad Diallo scoring for us that winning goal in the 90 plus. I think it was 1 or 2. A good assist from Lisandro Martinez. At Old Trafford again, it's going to be another win to make a double over City this season. After I think the last time we did a double over Manchester City was back in 2019-2020 season during Ole Gunnar's era. So I think Amorim doing it in his first season, a double over Pep Guardiola, I'll say, will be something good. Looking at Manchester City at the moment, I'll say their form, I'll say compared to us, their form at least it's good compared to us, but not that level of Manchester City, that level that we've been using to see or be used to see Manchester City being at. Look at their last 5 games; they've only, I think they've won, two, lost two, and drawn. I think they've drawn one, if I'm not mistaken, with those stats. And looking at also their away form, they have won 6, lost 6, and drawn 3. Look at Manchester City away form is just in between the number of games that they've won and the number of games that they've lost, kind of just balanced. So I think them coming at Old Trafford, they know it won't be an easy game for them. Looking at they will want to come at Old Trafford to revenge that defeat that we did against them at the Etihad, but I'll say it won't happen. Looking at also us, our form also ends that good. Our last previous game this week against Nottingham Forest, we lost that game. Look at Manchester City, they won against Leicester City. So in the game against Nottingham Forest, that's a game that we really dominated. Looking at we had, I think, 24 total attempts, total shots we made. What 2, 10, 24, and the last time Manchester United made such much total attempts and they didn't score was back in 2021. And looking at we had lots of created lots of chances, we had lots of shots, but we didn't manage to score. Was so disappointing. Looking at in the final third, our finishing was not that good. In particularly, Alejandro Garnacho, who had, I'll say, most of the chances, but he was not utilizing them so well. There was a situation where he had the ball, but he was just seeing a Nottingham Forest defender in front of him, and he was just shooting, not knowing that it will be blocked. And you can, and Amorim did say yesterday in his press conference that Garnacho need to improve in the way he runs. He need to improve the way he scores, the way he assists. And also he did say that Garnacho need to make some good choices in the final third. And we saw against Nottingham Forest, the choices that he was making in the final third was not that good. And we didn't manage to utilize most of the chances. Most of the players, Bruno Fernandes, I think most of those players also didn't utilize most of the chances. Zaxi, I think just most of them. So going to this game against Manchester City, knowing that the way we dominated against Nottingham Forest, if they'll just bring that same performance, that same energy, in the game against Manchester City at Old Trafford, I see us winning it. Look at the way we're dominating Nottingham Forest. If they'll just bring that performance against Manchester City, I'll see us dominating Manchester City. Look at Manchester City; they won't have their main man Erling Haaland in this game, but they'll have Mamouche, but to me, I don't see Mamouche as a much threat compared to Erling Haaland. To me, Erling Haaland is just a much threat compared to Mamouche. But let me not underrate Mamouche because he might prove me wrong. But that's not uh, that's not something that I need to worry that much. And also, Amorim did say that we need to win more games to improve our position in the league table, and we just need to continue to win more games. I think that we have only have 8 Premier League games until the season is over. So we need just to utilize most of these games. Looking at in the midweek, teams like Bournemouth drop points. Teams like I think Crystal Palace drew and dropped points. I think also Brighton kind of drop points. Fulham, the Fulham drop points. I think that I think so. I don't remember Fulham, but and those are the opportunity. Looking at teams that are also behind us, Tottenham, West Ham, we draw points. So we need to utilize most of those chances. By if we win most of our games, and the team that also behind us, team like Everton that's in the 14th, Tottenham that's in the 14th position, Everton that's in the 15th position, West Ham, we need to win more games, to increase our gap to them, and also at least also to manage to finish at least in the half of the table, because finishing in the 13th position at the end of the season won't be something good for us. It won't be something good for us, and that's what we want to escape. Finishing the 13th position is not Manchester United. That's not us. I'd rather see us finishing in the 10th position. I know it's not a good position, but at least I'd rather see us finish at least halfway in the table, other than where we are at the moment. But I know these players, they'll just need to keep improving and be consistent, and now for us to keep winning more games. Look at that. Most of the players are back from injury. I think the latest player to come back from injury is Kobe Mino. Kobe Mino is the latest player to come back from injury, and Ruben Amorim did say that he will be available in the squad to face Manchester City, but also he did say that he won't play full time, saying that he hasn't been training that much. So I know Kobe Mino coming in. I think the last 15 to 10 minutes won't be bad. Looking that he's just come from injury, and this is a player that you want just to throw him in most in the match minutes. If you just play 10, 15 minutes, we'll be controlling him, we'll be controlling his injury, we'll be cautious about him, knowing that we have at least more important games ahead of us. You know, we have a game against Lyon in the Europa League in the midweek on Thursday, and that's an important game for us. So, but I won't even be surprised if I see Kobe Mino not being used as a substitute. Looking at also when Mount came in as a from his injury in the game against Leicester City before we break for the international break. He was not used as a substitute, and against Nottingham Forest when he was used as a substitute. I think Amorim was just being cautious because he knows player like Mount, a player that can get injured so easily. So I think also Goldman, I think Amorim will be cautious with him. So I think it's a 50-50 if he'll be used as a substitute. But to me, it depends how the game will be. If the game will be that not good with us in that midfield, I think him coming in the last 15 minutes won't be bad. But if things are looking good for us, if we will be dominating that match, for him, if you want to be used as a substitute, I'll see it as something good to me. It will be something good for the team. Also, looking at our team, I'll say I think the team that played against Nottingham Forest, I think Amorim will do a little bit of changes too. I'll see 2 to 3 changes. Looking at I did confirm that Matthias the leader will be doubt in this game. Won't kind of want to be available in the game against Manchester City. So in that position, we'll have Maguire in that position to start. Looking at Maguire in the game against Nottingham Forest, I think he came in the last 10 minutes before the game, and I think he came in the 80 minutes. You can see Maguire will start in that game, and also forward Zaxi starting as a 9. To me, in that game against Forest, I wanted to see Hoyland. Looking at in the game before we break in for the international break, he did score against Leicester City, and also in the international break, he did score against Portugal. So this is a player that was hungry much for goals, and I expect to see him start against Nottingham Forest to continue that much hunger, because he'll have that much hunger of wanting to score. So, but starting against Leicester, so starting against Manchester City, I see it possible. So I'll see him starting in the place of Zaxi, and also I'll see Mount also starting, because I really want to see him start this game against Manchester City, because the last game he started before he picked up an injury was against Manchester City at Etihad, where he was subbed off with the I think after 14th minutes, and also him starting against Manchester City, I'll say him being good, him starting with Garnacho behind the striker, I'll say will be something. Also, Ganache, I really want him to be on the bench because he has much impact coming on as a substitute. But I really want him to start in this game against Manchester City, because we really need much of a pace going to this game. Looking at against Nottingham Forest, he was making some good runs, but he was not just utilizing those chances. He was not just finishing well in the final third. So I think him starting against Manchester City will be something good. We need that pace going to this game against Manchester City. And the Garnacho's pace, I'll see it's something good. So I think those kind of three changes, Mount coming in, Maguire starting, and Hoyland starting, I think that's my assumption. I'll see Amorim making three changes going to this game against Manchester City with Matthias De Ligt available, and so Maguire replacing him will be something good. Also, Lenioro played so well against Nottingham Forest, so him starting against Manchester City will be something good. This Manchester derby, I really want to see him starting this Manchester derby. Will be something good. I think in our reverse fixture, he wasn't available. I think that time he was still injured, if I'm not wrong. But this at Old Trafford will be available for us because it's just been so fantastic for us. It's just been a good defender for us when he's just on the pitch playing. So I think going to this game, I see us winning. I'm just positive. And if these players will just show that performance that they showed against Nottingham Forest, against Manchester City, we are winning it clean, guys. We are just winning it at Old Trafford. Even though at Old Trafford this season has just been our weakness, we haven't been winning most of our games at Old Trafford. We haven't utilizing the home advantage fans, but against if you show that game that they showed against Forest, we are winning it. That's why I'm putting my hopes on. That's why I'm just putting my hopes on. If they'll just be consistent and just play the way they played against Forest, and I'm telling you, we are winning against Manchester City, and Amorim will have gotten his double over Manchester City in his first season. It will be something good. That's all I had for you. Thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one.